Weekends with Whitney. So glad you're starting your Sunday with us. Coming up, what are the secrets to success? Well, we're going to meet some people who are at the top of their field. We're going to find out what their formula for success is, how it might help all of us, and how they got to where they are now. Like track superstar Lolo Jones, she's overcome incredible hurdles from an impoverished childhood, but couldn't conquer the 9th hurdle at the Beijing Olympics to bring home the gold. Yet proving how unstoppable she is, she's now training for another Olympic run right here in Baton Rouge. Her key to perseverance and physical power coming up. And meet the man reeling in $100 million movie blockbusters here at Celtic Studios. How he's selling Baton Rouge to the world and reversing brain drain all at the same time. And you get to be in on part of a big surprise for this guy. And if he doesn't look familiar, it's because he flies a bit under the radar. And while doing so, he's built the 15th largest electrical contracting business in the country. His secret to any success, just ahead. And what do these three remarkable people all have in common? Well, they have been chosen to be in the Hall of Distinction by the LSU Alumni Association. Plus, LSU President and Chancellor Dr. King Alexander reveals what he's been able to accomplish in his first 18 months on campus, what's still on his wish list, and what it'll take to get there. And meet Cliff Vinoy, the new president and CEO of the LSU Alumni Association. After a sudden shift in leadership this year, find out how he's grabbed those reins and not only made some long-needed changes, but brought up donations to a whole new level. But we begin with the movie industry. For the first time ever last year, Louisiana had more films made here than any other state in the nation. It all started to balloon when the Louisiana legislature in 2002 voted in a 30% tax credit for the film industry. Now, some say we're spending too much money to lure one industry. Others say it's pure genius. Nonetheless, it has ballooned into a $2 billion economic driver for Louisiana. In fact, the biggest movie studio from the east to the west coast is right here in Baton Rouge. Not yet 40 years old, Patrick Mulhern is executive director of the $40 million movie mecca known as Celtic Studios. He's responsible for bringing in big movies and big money, like Battleship from Universal Pictures, Oblivion, another Universal movie starring Hollywood heavy hitters Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman, vampire movie sensation Twilight, Breaking Dawn's Part 1 and 2, and Battle Los Angeles by Columbia Pictures. Some of these blockbuster budgets topped $100 million. So if Patrick can't close the deal, our local economy loses millions.
You know, I like to say that a lot of people would kill for my job, but my job would kill a lot of people.
How Patrick ended up running a 30-acre, 150,000 square foot movie studio in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, surprises him on a lot of fronts.
I had no idea this is what I'd be doing.
Patrick grew up in Natchez, Mississippi, then headed west to the University of Colorado at Boulder for film school. But his girlfriend was at LSU, and that was hard. So Patrick's sophomore year, he decided to spend his fall semester at LSU and go back to Colorado in the spring.
I got 6 weeks into that fall semester, I broke up with a girl and I fell in love with LSU, and I never quite left. LSU has that effect on you. It gets in your blood. You know, you go to your first LSU game, you know, I mean, it's just like you get hooked. It just felt like home, you know, and, you know, yeah, I've never quite left. Yeah.
Patrick got his bachelor's degree in political science and his master's degree in liberal arts. Patrick dreamed of writing for a television show, but when he finished LSU grad school in 2000, jobs like that weren't available here. He almost moved to Austin, Texas.
And we just seem to be all about, I mean, let's be honest, oil and gas, petrochemical, and, you know, I mean, it was just, Louisiana seemed sort of set in its ways. And
instead of moving, Patrick went into television. In fact, I first met him when he came to work in the marketing department at WBRZ 14 years ago.
Yep. I remember doing tune-in promos for you.
I remember that well. He stayed in TV until 2006. By then, those lucrative state tax credits implemented 4 years earlier were working, bringing more and more movies to Louisiana. When a position at the state film office opened up, he got the job. Just 3 years later, he scored the executive director position at Celtic Movie Studios. Did you pinch yourself?
You know, I did it first when I first started coming through the gates, because it is kind of weird in the middle of Baton Rouge. You're coming into the gates with the guardhouse and, you know, all that, and it just didn't seem real for the first couple of weeks, whatever. Now it's just work. It's just work like any place else, you know.
He's been at Celtic 5 years now, but he credits LSU for giving him the foundation to be able to run a movie studio.
You know, LSU helped make me well-rounded. I mean, you know, I feel like that LSU prepares you as a critical thinker, you know, to you know, use the old term, thinking outside the box. It fits right in line with what LSU teaches you. LSU teaches you, you know, sometimes you got to take a risk. You know, sometimes you've got to, you know, take a calculated risk. And I feel like it's just a great place, you know, the relationships you build at LSU. I mean, I'm still talking to a lot of those people today, you know.
And when movie producers are considering Baton Rouge for their next big project, Patrick makes sure to show them what Louisiana has to offer. That always includes a little LSU.
The tailgate culture, I mean, you know, we take it for granted. Other people come in, they're just like, this is amazing. This is the most fun I've ever had in my entire life, you know. I mean, Mardi Gras, all this kind of stuff, you know. I mean, that's why, you know, we stand out.
Just as important as bringing people to Louisiana, Patrick's excited now to be able to help keep our young people here with new and creative job opportunities.
I'm proud of that we're actually seeing, you know, I mean, we talk about return on investment. It's like returning kids coming back to Louisiana, you know, reverse brain drain. That's what we need.
Patrick's advice to success is 2 words.
I have 2 things I say. You got to be likable and dependable.
Success in life means overcoming a lot of hurdles. And that's literally what Lolo Jones had to do. She's a 3-time Olympian, 3-time world champ, and a huge track star here at LSU. Coming up, we're going to talk about her success with the hurdles and her success out of the track stadium and how LSU played a big part in all of that as Weekends with Whitney continues.
I'm driving all day long, so I need a car that I can rely on in a dealership I can trust.
And that's Dairy Lane.
It's always been Chevy.
Their customer service is outstanding.
Get in the lane, get in the lane, get in the lane.
Jerry Lane keeps me and my family rolling.
Always lead to. You can count on Jerry Lane.
Give the gift of fine dining this holiday season. Wayne Stabler Companies is offering 1 card for 4. Le Creole, The Little Village, Stab's Steak and Seafood. 4 sizzling restaurants, 1 card.
Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. 3-time Olympian Lolo Jones has faced thousands of hurdles in her lifetime. Some of them on the track and some of them off. But regardless, she always gets back up. 6 years after losing gold in the Olympics, she is back at it again, determined to grab that gold medal yet. And she's doing all that training right here at LSU, her alma mater. Lolo Jones is one of the best women hurdlers in the world. She's also a media magnet, gracing the cover of Time magazine, landing movie roles, and recently chosen for ABC's Dancing with the Stars. But what she hasn't been able to do is win a gold medal at the Olympics. She was a favorite to win gold in 2008, even leading into the finals. But she hit the 9th hurdle and came in 7th instead. In the 2012 Olympics, she finished 4th. Yet don't ever count Lolo out, because at 32 years old, she is going for gold again. training for the 2016 Olympics in Rio, right here at her alma mater, LSU.
Well, right now we have the 2015 World Championships coming up in Beijing, China, and that's where the epic race where I hit the 9th hurdle. So I'd like to go there and redeem myself. And then after that, you know, Rio right around the corner. So we're less than 2 years out from the next Summer Olympic Games.
Even though Lolo's recovering from recent shoulder surgery, she's out here training 4 to 6 hours a day. She could train anywhere in the world, but chose LSU.
It's a great environment, so I love it. Every day out here and just, I don't know, every day feels just brand new to me. It never gets old, never running around this track. The best moments I have are just me running around this track, and then I look over and I see Mike pacing in his cage.
She's not only in training, she's helping train, mentor, and give advice to members of the LSU track team.
No, I guess the biggest thing for the advice I can give them is just to work through it all, because you know, people see me now as a 3-time Olympian, 3-time world champion, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so successful. She probably was always successful, but I really wasn't. And at LSU, I only won 1 NCAA indoor national title. Other than that, I was just really a support for the team to kind of, you know, the stars were Muna Lee, Stephanie Durst, and with them we won the overall national title, but I was just one of the, you know, building blocks, the base. And so with the support of LSU, every year I got a little bit better, and that's how I became dominant in the sport.
She says without LSU, she never would have made it to the Olympics.
I think LSU gave me the confidence to know that I could run and compete with the best, because at the time LSU was the best. You know, we won 3 out of the 4 national titles while I was here. I have 3 national championship rings with LSU, and that just gave me confidence to say, hey, I'm a good athlete. I can be on the best team in the country. I can be strong and determined, and I think I carried that with me when I turned, you know, a professional athlete. And there were years where I wasn't the best, where I was losing races, and I had that experience back to know you've run with the best, you've competed with the best, you've been on the team with the best. So I was able to kind of carry that mantra through to 3 Olympic teams.
It took that kind of strength and determination to overcome an impoverished childhood, where she and her family lived in the basement of a Salvation Army for a while. They moved so often. She went to 8 schools in 8 years. At LSU, she found the stability she longed for.
When I went on my recruiting trip, this school just won me over.
Always up for a tough challenge, Lolo majored in economics.
I hate math, but I thought it was challenging. I thought it was interesting and very challenging, and I'm a hurdler. I like to get over things that are in my way, and economics was one of my hardest classes, and I thought it was very cool to kind of just go after that for some reason.
So it didn't surprise those who know Lolo best when she accepted an invitation to join the U.S. bobsled team. She overcame the hurdle of learning a whole new sport.
It's sprinting, you know, you just have to be strong and sprint. And, you know, obviously my base of sprinting comes from LSU. So I just thought it was a unique experience, not for just me, because I've gone to an Olympics, but just for people in the state of Louisiana. They were like, we had somebody to cheer for the Winter Olympics. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like, people who don't ever see snow on a regular basis were like, we had somebody. So I felt honored to represent the South in that moment.
Lolo overcame another hurdle recently when she competed in Dancing with the Stars. Although she was the first one voted off, it's not losing that bothered her. It's what she missed out on.
I wanted to learn more of the dances. I really, truly want to just become really good at the Latin dances. So I felt like a missed opportunity. And then, you know, I just felt like I didn't handle my interviews well. So I really wanted to go on the show and people get to know me and see how hard I work.
Sure.
But they never got to experience that.
Now she's back to overcoming the hurdles she knows best.
My eyes right now are focused on Rio, just going there, competing well, and getting that medal that I've been trying so hard to get.
So stay tuned to see if Lolo makes it to Rio for the 2016 Olympics. And coming up, you get to sit in on a great surprise. In fact, he says it's one of the biggest honors of his entire life. And he's a really successful guy. We'll show you after this.
Give the gift of fine dining this holiday season. Wayne Stabler Companies is offering 1 card for 4. Le Creole, The Little Village, Stab's Steak and Seafood. 4 sizzling restaurants, one card.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Falls River, here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only way to go, that's Maggio.
You know the best thing about Raising Cane's? Well, we have fresh, never ever frozen 100% premium chicken fingers. We also have extra long crinkle cut fries. Then there's our crisp coleslaw and buttery Texas toast. And of course, you can't forget about our totally craveable cane sauce. But while all those things are definitely tasty, the absolute best thing about Raising Cane's is simple. We don't make it until you're ready to eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
Now you're about to meet a guy who has the 15th largest, most successful electrical contracting company in the country. But we got to sit in on what he says was one of the biggest honors of his life. Newton Group founder, owner, and CEO Newton Thomas thought he was walking into a staff meeting. Instead, he walked right into one of the biggest surprises of his life, being named the LSU Alumni Association's 2015 Alumnus of the Year.
I'm in awe. This was totally unexpected. I had absolutely no idea. Totally surprised. And I have such great respect for this university. And I'm aware of some of the people that have proceeded and what their mission has been and what they've done. To be included in a group like that, it's just an unbelievable honor.
LSU Alumni Association President and CEO Cliff Benoit says Newton exemplifies a true tiger.
He's one of the most outstanding people in the field of electrical engineering. I don't know if you realize it or not, but his is the 15th largest electrical contractor in the United States. And look at what he's done for the employees and for the company. He is a true LSU Tiger all through and through. And what he's done for the community, great guy, well-deserved, perfect person for the Alumnus of the Year.
LSU President and Chancellor Dr. King Alexander says Newton is a great example of what their graduates are doing all over the world.
We couldn't be more proud of what he's accomplished as a graduate of LSU, but also as a role model for many of our other engineering students on the way. And having just broken ground on a new College of Engineering building, this fits so well with the university.
Newton credits LSU with giving him the foundation for success.
I had a mix that was unbelievable, not just a focused education, but a world experience of people and how to deal with people and how to go between different groups that were really quite different.
Newton's advice for success at any age is follow your passion.
But you need to take your education to go in directions that you love, because if you're going to be spending your life doing it, you need to get a lot of pleasure out of it. So you need to understand yourself and make sure you're going to customize what you're going to go pursue.
And stay with us. Coming up as Weekends with Whitney continues, LSU gets a huge academic gift, one of its biggest in history. We're going to find out how President Chancellor Dr. King Alexander says that money will best be used. Also, we'll take a look at his first 18 months at LSU. Has he been able to do a lot of the things he looked forward to? And what else would he like to see done? And the LSU Alumni Association, stronger than ever. We'll find out more after this.
You know the best thing about Raising Cane's? Well, we have fresh, never ever frozen 100% premium chicken fingers. We also have extra long crinkle cut fries. Then there's our crisp coleslaw and buttery Texas toast. And of course, you can't forget about our totally craveable cane sauce. But while all those things are definitely tasty, the absolute best thing about Raising Cane's is simple. We don't make it until you're ready to eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
You can count on Jerry Lane.
At Jerry Lane, they rolled the red carpet out for me.
It's always been Jerry. Jerry Lane.
You know what? It's tradition, it's family, and that's what keeps us coming back to Jerry Lane.
Get the lane, get the lane. Get the lane, get the lane. Get the lane, get the lane.
We're a Jerry Lane family.
Oh, always lead to. You can count on Jerry Lane.
Give the gift of fine dining this holiday season. Wayne Stabler Companies is offering one card for four. Le Creole, The Little Village, Stab's Steak and Seafood. 4 sizzling restaurants, one card.
Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. The LSU Alumni Association is now under new leadership for the first time in decades. Meet Cliff Vanoy and find out how he's taking it to new heights. If you've ever wondered what the job of LSU Alumni Association President and CEO entails, it's a lot.
Overseen and run the hotel. I've overseen the Alumni Center, and it's part of its operation and its building, the fundraising for both of those organizations, as well as the nonprofit organizations.
It's not a job just anyone can waltz into. Cliff has been with the Alumni Association 33 years. He was in the midst of a 5-year plan to take over the reins. However, the summer's sudden resignation of its former CEO moved up that timeline. But Cliff was ready and turned what could have been a public relations nightmare for some into sheer purple and gold.
We've actually increased in terms of the number of people who have given to the Alumni Association. So that's a real testament to the people and the spirit of LSU alums and friends and family that believe in the university and the Alumni Association.
Cliff says he'll grow support even more. One of the first things he did after taking over in August was to reinvigorate LSU's 135 alumni chapters across the country with more activities, more camaraderie, and making each alumnus a bigger part of the big picture.
And get them to join the joint membership program so that we can count you as an individual contributor to the university. Now that takes it so that the number of contributors and alumni who are contributing to a much larger scale. And that's part of what we're trying to get done, is communicate that to all the people who bleed purple and gold and love LSU.
It's also about keeping alumni connected to LSU and each other.
Still feeling the spirit of LSU, no matter where they are, so that as they go along in their careers, they get to the point where there's something they want to do special, and they're already connected. You don't have to resell them on the whole concept of LSU. They're already there. And that's how you do an $800 million campaign, Forever LSU campaign.
Cliff is working on a 5-year plan with consultants to better serve alumni and LSU. He's building better collaboration with the LSU Foundation and the Tiger Athletic Foundation. He has plans to renovate the rooms of the Alumni Association's Cook Hotel, along with bringing in a full-time restaurant, bar, and room service. And he's changed term limits for the Alumni Association's Board of Directors. Before, board members could serve unlimited 3-year terms. Now, it's a maximum of 3 3-year terms.
And that'll give you new ideas, new folks, new volunteer activities, new energy from all walks of life.
And all of that will build a stronger LSU. LSU President and Chancellor Dr. King Alexander got a big surprise this week. So big, it was worth $11 million. Wouldn't we all like to get a surprise like that, right? Well, I sat down with him to talk about what LSU will be doing with that money, how it will help students, what else he'd like to see happen here. Dr. Alexander wants to expand LSU students' thoughts, ideas, and opportunities, but he wants to minimize their debt getting that education.
It's become more challenging for our students as student indebtedness has grown throughout the country.
For LSU students, the future is greener than most. Nationally, 72% of graduates leave college in debt. At LSU, it's only 35%.
When we focus on the word value, there are very few institutions that can give their students and their graduates the type of opportunities that we're giving for about $8,000 a year.
A lot of that value is possible because of generous donations to LSU, like the record-setting $11 million Honors College donation just this week from the Ogden family.
We will receive the third largest academic gift in history, $11 million gift from Mr. Roger Ogden to name the Honors College after his father.
And that's one of the largest gifts that an honors college has ever received in the United States.
That money will allow the Honors College to expand its resources and give students more program opportunities, all adding even more value.
But our starting salaries are still in the top 19 in the country among public flagships, and our mid-career earnings are ranked 15th in the country. So our graduates are doing very, very well comparatively.
New buildings and facilities are popping up all over LSU's campus. It's because of generous donations from its supporters who give money to the LSU Alumni Association, the LSU Foundation, and the Tiger Athletic Foundation. Getting all of those groups to collaborate is one of Dr. Alexander's goals for 2015.
Well, I think getting our foundations to work together. We've got many foundations, and raising the type of funds that we need to raise as a university. We have some of the best capacity in the United States, and we just haven't done, I think, enough in these areas to focus in these areas to also integrate a lot of the activities that our foundations are doing so that they all can succeed more effectively and more efficiently as we go forward.
Forward on an even stronger foundation for LSU's future. Thanks so much for starting your Sunday morning here with me on Weekends with Whitney. Remember, you can always find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget, if you'd like to see the show again or share it with someone else, you can always visit my website, weekendswithwhitney.net. But this morning, we leave you with an all-time favorite here on the LSU campus, Mike the Tiger.